39. Ludwig van Beethoven. Beethoven was one of the greatest composers in musical history. He was born in Bonn, Germany, in 1770. Both his father Johann and his grandfather Ludwig were musicians. Beethoven's father gave him early musical training and hoped that the boy would become a musical genius like Mozart. He forced him to get up in the middle of the night and practice the piano. When he was 7, Ludwig started playing in public and at the age of 13 became an assistant organist at a chapel in Cologne. 40. In 1787, Ludwig van Beethoven traveled to Vienna where he met Mozart, but after a short stay he had to go back to Bonn because his mother had died. He returned back to Vienna in 1792 where he stayed until his death. Vienna was one of the great musical centers of Europe during this time. Some of the city's upper-class citizens had already heard of Beethoven and were interested in his music. They gave him money to live and study. 41. In Vienna, Ludwig also met Joseph Haydn and became his pupil for a short time. The Viennese thought that Beethoven was a strange man with his untidy appearance. He had wild black hair and lived by his own rules. During his time in Vienna, he became more and more famous, gave great concerts, and went on tours to Berlin and Prague. 42. In the late 1790s, Beethoven discovered that he was slowly becoming deaf. This became a great crisis in his life. But it was during this time that Ludwig van Beethoven wrote the best works of his life. In his music, he showed his joy and emotions, but also his pain. He composed his most popular symphony, the Fifth, and his famous opera, Fidelio. By 1820, Beethoven became completely deaf. He didn't show himself in public very much and spent most of his time writing music. 43. In his last years, Beethoven created longer and more complicated works. Towards the end of his life, he wrote his Ninth Symphony, which also became his last. It was a great success, even though Beethoven couldn't hear the music. He also composed sonatas, music for string quartets. Ludwig van Beethoven died in Vienna in 1827. Many music lovers of that time came to the funeral. Since then, his music has become very popular and is played in concert halls all over the world.